Previously on Keep Off the Pavement. Day 1 got me across California, and Day 2 I got quite deep into Nevada. Day 3 we're skirting out of Nevada, across Arizona, and into Utah. Welcome back to Day 3 of my Utah journey, here on TWiG's ADV. We start our day off at a watering pond in the Nevada desert.
Good morning, everybody. Day 3. This is my little campfire right here. The highway's just right up there. There was like wild donkeys here. Rabbits jumping everywhere, all kinds of stuff. Battery charging the highway.
Leaving the pond, I headed east on the Veterans Memorial Highway towards Indian Springs. I started off taking a bunch of dirt roads that followed the same direction as the highway. Eventually those ended though, and I had to get right back on it. These wire fences and gates are all throughout the area to keep the wild burros from wandering onto the highways. It was interesting to watch the desert types change as you'd go on. Being closer to some hills for once was a nice change as well. Passing this airbase, I was a little bummed I didn't see any planes or jets or anything cool like that. A couple Humvees and a few big trucks, but you know, I've seen those before. I kept my eyes out and I kept searching. And almost as if it appeared out of thin air, I spotted a military drone. It was pretty dang big, going in for a landing. Turns out to be a major base for remote-controlled drone flights around the world. Leaving Creech Air Force Base, we tiptoe into Las Vegas for a little bit of fuel, and then head off towards another airbase and a racetrack. Most of my video from Las Vegas was lost to corrupt files, but I like to think these cones were put up to protect this poor homeless mattress. Lots of road construction on the north side of Las Vegas. Apparently they need more highways. The pace of highway riding lets you look around and see more things that you might not otherwise in twisties or dirt roads. Like fighter jets. There's 3 of them flying in formation. 2 of them peeled off and went the other direction. The one in the middle stayed course towards the airbase. It doesn't seem like they're very close with the wide-angle camera lens, but I can hear and feel the jets over my wind noise and motor noise. The jet flybys did make seeing the Las Vegas Motor Speedway a little bit less exciting though. After the speedway, it's back into the deserts. Through changing scenery but a consistent heat, I find myself in a little wash, seeking shade. Further east you go, the browns and grays turns into tans and reds. I don't know if I was getting used to it or some kind of heat delirium, but I was actually thinking the place started to look cool. The heat was a problem though. With just a t-shirt on, the sun's rays were scalding on my skin. With my jacket shell, I was really hot even with the air blowing in. And just as the day before, I wasn't finding shade for miles. I got an idea though, and I pulled off the highway as soon as I saw the next wash. During a storm, a water that runs through there has to go somewhere, meaning an underpass, and that meant shade. Even the air inside was cool, and sitting against that cool concrete for my lunch was so wonderful. It was hard to go back out into that heat, but I was so close to the Arizona border. From my shaded sanctuary, I head northeast. A quick stop for fuel in Mesquite, followed by an unnoticed border crossing into Arizona, and I head into a cool mountain pass. I noticed that Arizona, Nevada, and Utah all had better marked and smoother roads than California. I had a bit of a hard time enjoying the scenery when I started to rush more and more as I got closer to that sweet Utah border. My excitement was building. I was in the third state of my trip, and the fourth was just ahead. The scenery was all changing again and was reminding me more and more of all those cool areas that I'd see in the Western movies I'd watched with my grandpa as a kid. Somebody asked me what was the most disappointing part of my whole trip, and I jokingly answered that I didn't see a single dang cowboy the whole time. Through the mountain pass, I only had to follow a few canyons, and I was into Utah. Some of these areas, even though they were right there in front of me, seemed like paintings. I was watching the map for the border, and there it was. Grinning ear to ear, I passed the sign. In 3 days and about 1,400 miles, I'd gotten my little DRZ from California to Utah, and I was pretty dang pumped. The first step of my very simple trip plan was done. Get to Utah. The day wasn't done though. I still needed to head past St. George and to the Zion National Park. My adrenaline was pumping, and my GPS said I only had about an hour of road left to go. Thankfully, the views just kept getting better and better. Nearing the park, parking was full and everything was crowded. Understandable though, it's an amazingly gorgeous area that I'd love to come back and explore more on foot. Don't forget to bring money or a parks pass to get in, and if you are going to be going to more than one national park, get the pass.
Howdy. Are you with them? No. I'm going to Zion Ranch.
Are you going up there to this adventure deal?
Yep.
I had another motorcycle coming through a little few minutes ago. You want a map?
Sure.
Okay. This is your path right there.
All right. All right, cool, thank you.
Well, you know how to get up to Ponderosa, right?
Yeah, I've got the map going on here on my phone.
To do some coverage about a mile ahead, so 14 miles left turn on North Fork Road.
Cool.
Your little map.
Yeah, that it all works offline.
Oh, cool.
Yeah. All right, thank you.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's all GPS.
From the park entrance, we head up the canyon and to the switchbacks. In 1919, Zion National Monument became Zion National Park, making it Utah's first national park. The Zion Mount Carmel Highway was a feat for its day. After heading up Pine Creek Canyon, it needs to make its way to the top of the Navajo Sandstone Cliffs. A total of 7 switchbacks wind their way up the cliffs. Built from materials sourced locally, so they help to blend in with the environment as best they could. Traffic was moving pretty slow, so I decided to get off and take a look around. Needless to say, the view from up here was spectacular. It took 4 crews a total of 3 years to build the highway. One of their largest obstacles was just ahead. At the top, a tunnel drilled, cut, and blasted straight through the solid sandstone to the other side. The tunnel has 0 artificial lighting and is a surprising 1.1 miles long. Some light comes in and exhaust gases go out through these large gallery windows throughout the tunnel. The windows were also ventilation and a way to remove materials from the tunnel while it was being built. From the valley below, the windows look like caves going into the sandstone. Coming out of the big tunnel, we head across the slick rock area towards the little tunnel. Many people associate Utah with not having many trees, but hey, you just need to know where to look. Zion has so many different kinds of geological wonders all in one area. Coming out of the tunnel, we leave the park and start heading towards Zion Ponderosa Ranch. I'll just let the rest of these views of the park speak for themselves. Even after leaving the park, the area around is just amazing. Finally, I find the turnoff towards the ranch. I'm feeling happy, excited, nervous, anxious, everything all at once. My last ride for the evening is a quick rip up into the hills to check in at the ranch. I find the entrance to the ranch easy enough. And I'm happy to see other motorcyclists. Now that I was here, I almost felt a little overwhelmed. I didn't really know what to do. But I made my way to the lodge, signed all in, introduced myself to Jesse, who's organized the event, and decided it was best for me to go set up camp. I head to the other side of the ranch to find the Flying Monkey Tent City and pick a spot to set up. I relax in my hammock for a bit, thinking about the past couple days and everything I've done to get here. I met up with Dr. Dual Sport, and later on I met up with Tyler, as well as many other awesome people. We were laughing and swapping stories around a campfire that night till about midnight, when I realized I hadn't even eaten dinner yet. Thanks for joining me for day 3 of my Utah journey. Please like and comment below, and make sure to share these adventures with all your friends. Stay subscribed for day 4 when adventure in the Badlands begins. And I'll see you next time on TWiG's ADV.